Alright, continuing on with our how to basically dominate a lakes series. As you can see, my man here, Mr. Seaweed, Brian has been working for a couple hours. I just got here after work. This is the problem you get. Crazy thick weed. And you got a few alternatives. You can try looking for a clear spot, or you can just deal with it like we are. And basically, we got the boat out and got a really great idea from the carpology guys, Andrew and Simon. They actually made a weed rake that is like this wide. You can clear a ton of area quick. That's one swipe right there, got all this weed in. I've made little ones, they look like little claw machine ones. Man, for this size of weed right there, it'd take me like 4 hours probably. He does it in one swipe, so big props to you two for giving us the idea. And I know on the other spot, Brian definitely handled that one pretty good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the biggest thing is, even though we have this on the ground, never take weed out of the water, leave it in, because there's a ton of food sources in here. Just leave it near the shore. Make sure it's in the water still, because all that food's going to come off, go back into the water. That way you don't deplete the food source for the carp. And right now we're just going to keep doing that. We're going out probably like 50, 60 yards, pulling in, dropping the rake, coming back to shore, and then just pull, with a rope, pulling that rake. And we're basically trying to clear out a little spot in a path. This weed is so thick, I don't care what kind of rig you're using, you're not getting through it. So we're doing the best we can. And this spot here we saved for last. You saw this in our video last year. We're 1 year later, and we just wanted to show you how we basically conquer a spot. Brian, big congratulations today. He got his first 30-pound fish ever, so definitely a good milestone for you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And that's at the other spot that we were working on. And he did the same thing, weed rake, baited up good, and the rest is history. So we're just kind of tapping into it. More is going to be coming out. We have an insane amount of bait on us today. We're pushing about 400 to 500 pounds of bait we're putting out shortly. And once we get a good amount of weed out of here, we're basically going to pick the spots we want to cast to. We're going to drop the weed over. We're doing seed. I brought a bunch of pellets, cracked corn, all kinds of stuff. And the goal is to put it over top of where the weed was. The fish are going to come in. It's going to bury itself down into the ground. They're going to root it up. And then also, they're going to keep coming back to that spot because the seeds will bury themselves in the bottom. And that's the game plan right now. You never want to get rid of all the weed because, like I said, you have the food sources in there. You don't want to deplete that from the fish. Just clear out the bare minimum that you can get away with, and then go from there. Obviously, if the weed wasn't so thick, this stuff's crazy. Like, there's no way you're going to land in that and make it out. And good example, Brian had a fish on today, like mid-20 fish.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get out? Like a good hour plus?
An hour, and then in the boat, about 10 minutes, using the carp as an anchor, slowly worked my way towards the fish, and then it came up out of the weed, and then it went back down the weed, and then it came back up out of the weed. So about 3 tries, and I got the fish.
Yeah, so you got some crazy stuff going on with the weed. Not saying you can't fish like on top of the weed, but this stuff comes the whole way to the top of the surface, and it's just not really a good situation for that. So we're putting all the seed out. We're going to come back in a week, maybe closer in, and see where we're at with this. So let's get started. He's going to go out on the boat again and show you how it's dropped, and I'm going to pull it in from shore, and then we'll go from there. All right. See, Brian's heading down to the water again. Got his life vest on because, especially this time of year, it is cold water, and if you happen to fall in, you're into hypothermia, so you don't want to be dying over raking up some weed. So get to it, my man. As you can see, all the weed around here, been working on that. And farther out, you'll see some of that weed just kind of popping up on the surface. Okay, there he goes on the love boat. Oh yeah. I want to see you swimming. Show him that weed rake. Pop that up. Oh yeah. So there it is. Got the rope coming back. Right there. Alright, Brian, do your thing.
Alright.
Basically, just been combing a spot all around here. You see nice fall colors on the trees. And we've been fishing here ever since spring, and got a lot of really nice fish. I think the smallest one was 20 pounds. So, doing pretty good. Alright, got the rope, as you can see here. Kind of just tied around the tree. Like I said, he's here by himself for a while. And that way he can mark off how far out. We're probably like, not too far, 30, 40 yards. That's where the weed line's at. So, he just dropped it in the water out there. He's coming back. And basically we're just going to keep pulling in that weed. He's heading over that way, coming back in. And I'm going to give him a hand pulling all this weed in and get down to business. Alright, I'll go and pull this one in. As you can see, I think I'm stuck.
That's the weed.
Wow. Alright, man, you can see guys on this one. Can't see, that's pretty damn heavy. Alright. Hang on. Let me know when you got some line. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Tell them how it's good to let it fall, that way it catches more weed.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Once you get closer in, it's a lot easier. A lot of that weed fell off already. I'll come down with the camera so they can see.
Oh no, you got a good bit.
What's that?
You got a good bit.
Yeah. Alright, come on down here. Okay. You can see all that weed, just pulled that in. And basically we're just trying to clear out a nice path out, like I said. Try getting a light here better, it's hard to see. It's getting dark out. Okay. That's it. So we'll just keep that near the bank here. Let all that food sources come off of that. And keep doing it. And that's basically it there. No, it's a little hard to see. I look like I'm completely black here, just the way the lighting is. But he's taking off the weed. Step one, obviously, just kind of go what we showed you before, picking out the spots. Once you find a spot, cast out the lead. That way you can feel what's out there. We found a massive weed bed, and we saw a lot of fish rolling, so we knew this would be pretty good. And right now, we're just taking care of business. So stay tuned for other parts, and we'll show you more.